Hello, it's Lana Thomas again, coming to you with information from the Council of Wisdom, wanting to share some new information that's been shared with me this week and be able to, I hope, enlighten you with some of the ideas that they've been offering me. So I'd like to begin this evening by actually summoning in the archangels and having them accompany us, set and stand by me and help me to share the information that's been offered. So according to the ancient texts, such as the Dictionary of Angels, I'm summoning Raphael, the healer from the west. Raphael represents air, and he is the greatest healer that I've had the privilege of working with. Uriel, Archangel Uriel from the south winds, represents the earth and anything on the mental plane. Michael from the east represents fire with his tremendous sword. He's our protector. Anything that you need protection from, he's there for you. Just call on his name. Gabriel from the north is water. Gabriel to me is a feminine energy, and she is the announcer. She brings news, things that you need to know, things that need to be revealed to you. And then some others that I really thoroughly enjoy having the honor to work with. Sandalphon from below, within the crystalline layer within our earth. And I summon you, Sandalphon, to come forward with us. And I thank you so much for being here with us this evening. And Sandalphon is like the counterpart of Metatron. Metatron from way above, and the highest of the archangels and supervisor of all of those that work within our dimension and around our planet. And Shamuel, Archangel Shamuel is Archangel of Love. Archangel Shamuel comes within a pink ray, and an exuding, loving ray that one can feel open up their heart chakra and their higher heart and make them feel more self-love and love for others as well. So with all of them here with us tonight, I would like to begin. It seems as if, with this being the beginning of the solstice this evening, and then tomorrow night and the following 20th and 21st will be the winter solstice. And what I'm understanding is that at the time of solstice, particularly at the end of the year, the winter solstice, the archangels get together with the councils, the different councils, and they discuss what they could possibly do that might make it easier for us. If they can change an energy pattern that's affecting us and helping us, enabling, they can intensify it or make it a different vibration, a different frequency, then they do that. They also try to come up with ideas that are important to us, concepts that we're looking at, working with and trying to develop and trying to change in order to change our world, change ourselves, change our friends, our neighbors, our communities, our countries. And they will bring forward information through people like me and also just through inspiration if we're listening, ways that we can do something differently than we are. And it may be in a way that something we've never considered before. And that indeed would be inspiration, and I think something sorely needed at this time in our lives. One of the things that they're making very clear is that we have reached at this time of this year and going into 2020, which is going to be extremely dynamic in the energies and the information coming through, is that we're at a point now toward the end of this year up to possibly into the first week of January where we really need to make some critical choices. We need to make some decisions and be able to make commitments. I don't mean New Year's resolutions. I mean commitments to ourselves and to what we propose for our futures, how we can help, how we can assist, how we can be involved in any way that they proffer us, that we might be able to make a difference in our world. We're very, very far behind the rest of the solar system, the galaxy, within our viewpoints, within our ability to love one another, and we really desperately need to get caught up and work harder at that. And each one of us can make a difference. So that critical choice point is based upon how involved do we choose to get? How involved do we choose to get in our own personal spiritual lives? How much do we want to enhance them? It's really important, it's integral to our future that we do that. And this critical choice point comes in now because of the tremendous dynamic energy that's going to be available in 2020 for our use. that will enhance us. We can use that energy to stimulate our own spiritual growth, accelerate our ascension toward our higher selves, and our understanding of our world. So with that said, I wanted to share with you what they explained to me. I was listening to some of the channel messages on YouTube and on some people's private websites, and there are a number of references to the council. Now, as I've spoken of the Council of Wisdom that I work with, I was trying to understand, are those councils the same as the councils that they work with? And are there more than one? And how is that hierarchy set up? Because it seems vague to us. We seem sort of lost in it sometimes, trying to understand it, trying to get some sort of, conception of the idea of what it is that surrounds us, how those energies work, how they work within us and around us, and how they alter our lives and what we can do with them. Also, the entities that are involved with every decision that's made here, and they are trying to influence our decisions so that we move in a more positive vein with regard to caring for one another, acknowledging our oneness with ourselves and our planet and our galaxy. And so I asked them to please explain it to me in terms that would make it very easy for me as a layperson, if that's applicable, as a layperson, that to try to understand what it is, how that functions. And they've made it very clear to me that we have a governmental process, we have a hierarchy, we have a whole system set up, and so do they. And actually, when you think about it, ours models theirs, because as above, so below. So what we have here in the ways that we've set up our state governments, city governments, and federal governments, and everything sort of is integrated and interpolated with one another. So I was in trying to understand how they work. I wanted to know, so exactly what is a council and who are they, and are they all the same, or is there one, or are there many? And this is how they explained it. As they described the council's hierarchy in a way that we can all understand, they stated, the angels are similar to floor managers in a global company. The archangels are similar to upper management in that company. The councils are similar to the shareholders and the CEOs. And the Godhead, the creators of the global conglomeration, who take a singular role in sustaining the entire company of billions of employees and clients whom are in the focus of this company's mission statement. To date, we have been isolated from the company, and we have been those that have been used to make the plan work. Not anymore. Now we can ask to sit on the board of executives and help make the decisions that affect our lives. So we're no longer just, we sometimes may feel like pawns or those that are being manipulated. We can take a very active role in what is being decided for us in our communications, because as we ascend higher and as they change our energies, we can communicate with them on a much deeper level than we've ever been able to before. The councils meet tonight and tomorrow night to determine how they can help us. Number one, to broaden and open our minds. Number two, to increase our intellect, raising our IQs, to help us see things from a new perspective, maybe in a way we've never even considered looking at our world before, and to change our energetic patterns, ours and the planet's. And those decisions will be made tonight. Now, the one thing that I found fascinating in that information is that should we choose and we ask, they will come and get us in our sleep, and we can take part in that. And the wonder of that is in many cases, I mean, our higher self is definitely going to be accelerated should we participate. But in many cases, we may even remember, especially if we ask them, what it is that took place and what we were a part of in making those decisions. I personally am definitely going to be asking. I want to be involved. Archangel Raziel, when you open yourself to that type of a concept and request that he come and get you and teach you, he will come in the night while you're sleeping and take you into different dimensions, into different types of schools, into certain circumstances, show you how you can travel interdimensionally in your sleep, and teach. And you'll remember in the morning waking up that you were sitting through some sort of odd class, or you were involved with a whole different family function than you're normally accustomed to. You will determine that things were very, very different than they are here. And then if you take the time to examine, so what exactly was I supposed to be learning from that, then you can look at that from that perspective and begin to understand that they want to help us. They want to move into this dimension with us, teaching us how we can move into the dimensions with them and begin to understand more readily what is happening to us and how we can be a very active part of that. And that is exactly what they are asking us to do. They don't want us to be bystanders anymore. They want us to become actively involved in any way that we choose, that we could do that. The message that they came with begins now, and I'm going to read, as I stated last week, that I'll read their channel messages until I'm very, very comfortable channeling their words. And this would be the second message that they have granted to me. And they said, now we come to you today with a heavy heart and faces that reflect the grimness of the place you find yourselves today. And I believe that they're referring to the impeachment of our president, the political activity that's happening right now that's causing such dismay, such upheaval, and so much animosity and arguing and angst, and just the tension is really thick. And we all feel it, even though we may not be paying attention to it and watching it, we still feel that tension because it surrounds us. As they put it, your systems are folding in on themselves, and you are watching the demise of much of what you held dear. We support you in this time of change and fluctuation. Now, we state, be courageous and look to the possibilities that present themselves. Remember, turmoil brings stability because time is not important, but change always is, and we are definitely on the cusp of change. So if you are feeling a little less sure of your future, relax and find beauty in progression and betterment in what lies ahead. We have systems. Religious systems are beginning to lose influence. People are wisely looking into themselves for direction and personal truth. Fear of loss of leadership is only found evident in those who do not trust God and do not trust themselves as the masters of their own destiny. Look within and examine who really got you where you are today. Who took you to work every day, day in and day out? You did. Who stood by you every day and lovingly supported your dedication and your fatigue after a long day? Why, those that love you, of course. Ask, how many times have I asked my pastor to help me with a chore? How many times has a politician offered to take me on a trip to fish, to see a place of peaceful rest after a long day's work? Ask this too. How many times has my employer made my world secure, despite what the world threw at us? We, not they, are a team. Now, ask how many times, days, years, millennia, and cycles has the divine realm protected you and your family and never asked for anything in return? The answer, countless times, my brethren, countless. We, as the Council of Wisdom, present to you today a perspective on faith that may awaken a new thought pattern in your mind. What would happen to you if you had no government? What would happen to you if you had no synagogues or churches? Would chaos reign, or would freedom grant that you could trust yourselves to live in a fair and just manner? Please consider that governments and churches teach privilege and elitism. God, on the other hand, teaches justice, fairness, and total equality. Governments teach lack and greed. God teaches limitless abundance and giving. History teaches fear and reprisal. God teaches faith and forgiveness. Institutions teach dependence. God teaches independence and freedom. Choice is God's way. Compliance is the way of the institutions, be they churches, governments, or corporations such as those who control you today. If we can make you see a greater truth, then the lies will begin to dissipate like the illusory mist they are. Too many live in a fog, trapped in stagnant systems that no longer have purpose. Please consider how different your communities and world would be if all the money possessed by your government and institutions was given to the people around the world. We merely offer a different perspective to be considered. Billions would be available for health care and housing, for food and clean water. We merely offer a different perspective for your consideration. It may be time to consider some alternatives to current systems that keep you stuck in the muck and mire of the past. Your feet feel heavy like your hearts. Life is toil. Life should be joyous. We suggest you reconsider what has been presented as an ideal of democracy and fairness that promotes only a tiny fragment of entitled individuals. Ask yourself this: are they more blessed, more deserving, more entitled than you? If I am godly and they are not, then how can that be that they are more blessed than I? Have the energies of egalitarianism been distorted over time to present a jaded view of fairness and truth? It would appear to be so. So as we, the Council of Wisdom, Truth and Justice, meet, I'm going to start again. So as we, the Council of Wisdom, Truth and Justice, meet tonight, we will be seeking new leaders, new ideas, and concepts that can begin to set things right. We seek those whose vision is not clouded by selfishness and ego. Seek now amongst yourselves and find within yourself the very truth we are creating and implanting in your minds. Now is the time to be proactive in prayer and introspection, for we are in need of new leaders who can assist in in bringing in a new world. Do not hold elections. Step forward and say, "Here I am. Use me." In this that they're conveying, there is the reminder that every one of us has a purpose here. The purpose can be something that we feel we came in here for. It can be purpose of a long, different route of different purposes that get us to that ultimate goal. But the idea behind our purpose is to make a difference. Everyone has the potential to serve. Everyone can be a leader. So to go to the meeting tonight, if you wish to do that, and you ask them to allow you to attend, ask that they come while you're sleeping. Take your consciousness, your energetic field into the dimensions above, into the realms of the angels, the archangels, the councils, and attend what they're doing. Attend the meetings and attend the gatherings and the feasts and the celebrations and be part of that in order that we understand that we are not so isolated. We are a very integral part of this, and they really hope to see our consciousness, our humanity increase, and our ability to love and share with one another. And as I said, this is a critical choice point before the end of the year. It is important that you decide what it is that you would like to be doing next year. And if that is merely to increase your spiritual beliefs, to increase your spiritual energy, to increase your understanding, your comprehension, then that is a wonderful goal. And I hope that you're able to attain that. And I, with the council, will do everything I can to help you with that. And I thank you for listening this evening and being part of this. And I will speak with you again next week. Thank you and good night.